here in Newport, Rhode Island, after the conclusion of Big East Media Day. This is Fizz TV. I'm Andrew Kanell with Kevin Fitzgerald, and got a chance to discuss things with all 8 Big East teams, including the new one, Temple University, and especially Syracuse University. Here as a part of the Big East Media Day, they brought the most players. Coach Marrone brought 5 different players today, and a lot of interesting storylines tossed around. Got a chance to talk with Coach Marrone about a number of different things. Right off the bat, Kevin, Charlie Loeb was an interesting topic of discussion because when we brought up to Marrone, we asked him who would be the backup quarterback, who right now is ahead in the race for the backup quarterback. He said not only is Charlie Loeb way ahead in that race, but he would have no reservations about putting him on the field just in general. He's very high on Charlie Loeb, and pretty much saying that if Ryan Nassib wasn't the starter for the Syracuse team, that it would be Charlie Loeb's job.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and we even heard him say that yesterday when he was with Brent Axe talking about Charlie Loeb putting him in. He does not have any problem with him playing this year. Hey, I think it's a Marronian type of a statement for him to make here at Big East Media Day. Listen, he likes the competition. He likes when these guys compete with one another. He was talking with you about the defensive back battle. He likes when these guys, when they get to compete with each other during these practices, as now the season starts just a month away. So, listen, are we going to see the hook with Ryan Nassib being pulled for Charlie Loeb at any point this season? I don't think so. But he does like that Charlie, who's been here for 4 years now, getting some good snaps, working hard during this summer, during these summer months. So, I mean, look, it's definitely fun to see him compete and to play a little bit better and to have Marrone bring him up in that sense. But, hey, this is Nassib's team this year, absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think the hook is coming anytime soon from Ryan Nassib, but still interesting to see Doug Marrone's confidence in Charlie Loeb in the event of some sort of unforeseen injury or anything else to Ryan Nassib, that Doug Marrone does have confidence in Charlie Loeb. The question is then, where does that leave the rest of the quarterbacks? And there are a lot of them for Syracuse when you talk about Terrel Hunt, John Kinder, Ashton Broyles coming in. Is he actually a quarterback at this point for Syracuse? We'll get to that in just a second. But right now, what about Terrel Hunt? Because he was coming off a suspension after having that shoplifting incident that he admitted to, that he shoplifted a bottle of cologne worth exactly $44. So I guess if you're going to shoplift something, it might as well be worth $44. But Terrel Hunt suspended for spring practice, and Doug Marrone talked about it. It's got an uphill battle at this point. It's the reality of the situation after you miss a whole entire spring practice as a quarterback position where you really need to be keyed into what the team is doing sort of mentally. To miss an entire spring practice does hurt for Terrel Hunt.
No, certainly. Coach Marrone said that one statement earlier today. He said, look, Terrel, he's got a lot of work to do over this next month or so leading up to the season. He definitely has a lot of work. Like you said, he missed some practice and time this past spring. He's a little bit behind, as what Coach Marrone was talking about. So, hey, it's interesting to see how much time we'll get. You have guys like Kinder, like you said, and Broyles. You have a lot of dynamic. You have an interesting dynamic behind Ryan Nassib.
So as far as Ashton Broyles goes, where does that leave him? Because I think Doug Marrone has still been very cryptic about what exactly Ashton Broyles' role is going to be this year.
Yeah, I mean, we talked. What Coach Marrone said before was how many different positions he's going to be playing this year. We're going to see him all over the place. That's what he furthered that point today here in Newport. And I got to get your thoughts on just when you have someone like Ashton, who, yes, he's coming in first year here at Syracuse. He's going to be working in a lot of different positions. Does that kind of hurt him? Does that kind of, I guess, hinder his performance trying to focus on so many different aspects all over the football field?
Well, there's a good chance that it could in some ways. When you talk about trying to develop a young quarterback, someone who can be very important at that position down the road for Syracuse, to have to spend time having him learn other positions on offense.
Right.
Who knows how costly that could be in the future. So that's something we'll definitely touch on in the future here on Fizz TV. But the final thing, you get a chance to catch up with Shamarko Thomas and just talk about how tough a schedule this will be this year for Syracuse, and be embracing the challenge of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, they certainly all are. All 5 players that were here today, and especially Shamarko, when I did get a chance to catch up with him, I said, hey, you got to play at USC. You're playing on the road against Missouri. There's only 5 home games. He said, this tough schedule, the only thing it means is it's going to put Syracuse on the map when they roll through it. So he's very optimistic of this upcoming season, and that's what I do like from these guys that we talked to today. Despite some of the injuries, a lot of them piling up throughout the spring, throughout the summer, these guys are very optimistic. They're very high on a team this year that's very speedy, very quick, a lot of agility when you look at both sides of the ball, I think.
Shamarko Thomas, never the one to lack confidence in his team. And here at the Fizz, we're pretty confident in ourselves as well. Follow us all day on Twitter, orangefizz.net, the site as well, for complete coverage of Big East Media Day. Stay tuned for more. This is Fizz TV here in Newport.